Manny Pacquiao has broken down the upcoming fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, while also sharing his prediction for the bout. Moreover, Ryan Garcia recently expressed his belief that Tyson will prevail over Paul. However, Garcia added that if Paul manages to floor Tyson in what will be his 11th professional fight, Garcia himself would step up to handle the problem child. Garcia tweeted, "If Jake Paul somehow beats Mike Tyson, I will finish him. I put that on my mama." The Garcia-Paul rivalry has seen another twist, with both fighters acknowledging their recent efforts to intensify the feud. Talk of a potential Garcia-Paul bout has surfaced, especially after Garcia accused Paul of disrespecting boxing back in March. However, Garcia's near-term plans are uncertain due to his positive test for a banned substance following his victory over Devin Haney in last month's lightweight clash at Barclays Center. In a recent installment of The Fighter vs. the Writer, retired UFC welterweight Matt Brown offered insight into Paul's risky move of trash-talking Tyson to drum up interest in their upcoming bout, suggesting it could potentially backfire as his most significant misstep to date. Brown said, "I think the worst thing Jake Paul could do is go talk to Mike Tyson like he's doing. It just doesn't add up to me. Like, Mike Tyson is an old stoner. At this point, he's a podcaster. He doesn't give about fighting. He's in there to make money." Brown expressed his concerns about the idea of awakening Mike Tyson, saying that he didn't understand why anyone would want to do that. He mentioned that he didn't care if Tyson was 60 years old, noting that he trained with Mark Coleman, who is also 60, and that he didn't want to get hit by Coleman regardless of his age. He emphasized that age didn't matter when it came to the danger posed by Mike Tyson, once hailed as the formidable behemoth of the UFC heavyweight division. Mark Coleman's last bout dates back to 2010. However, his journey since then has been a tumultuous one, marked by 4 intricate surgeries to replace his hips. Yet amidst these trials, a dramatic narrative unfolded when he heroically saved his parents from a blazing inferno engulfing their home in March, underscoring the resilience that defines his character beyond the agony. Because of this, Brown thinks Tyson still has some petrol left in his tank, and Paul's actions are probably only encouraging him to turn that petrol into a massive blaze. Brown added, "When I see a guy like Mark Coleman, who comes in my gym all the time, 60 years old, around the age of Mike Tyson, 58, 59, close to 60, and that he's done to his body through the substance, the alcohol, not training for years, and then I see him train, it gives me hope for Mike Tyson." Brown said that Mike Tyson, in his opinion, hadn't deteriorated his body as badly as Coleman had. He pointed out that Coleman still had a lot left in him. Brown also mentioned that when considering freak athletes like the two of them, Mike Tyson might still have it in times gone by, notwithstanding his aversion to the influencer boxing craze. Brown acknowledged Paul for his astute entrepreneurship. Paul, he noted, had effectively redirected the spotlight of a younger demographic towards the art of pugilism, where attention was much needed. Brown remains skeptical about Paul entering into a brawl with a seasoned icon like Tyson. Yet the recent press conference might have swayed his opinion. According to Brown, Jake Paul trying to be hard on Mike Tyson. Jesus Christ, you can't do that. For one, it's Mike Tyson. For two, you wouldn't do that 20, 30 years ago when you were born. If you were an adult back then, you wouldn't even have thought about it." He further said, "I don't get the thought process here. Jake Paul usually seems pretty calculated with everything he's doing and smart about it. But if there's one guy you don't want to wake up the savage killer inside, it's Mike Tyson." Tyson's major hurdle lies in the undeniable truth that despite his fervent desire to demolish Paul in their upcoming bout, his age may simply thwart his ambitions of victory. Brown contends that amidst the myriad ways aging affects a fighter's body, his primary apprehension for Tyson lies not in physical decline, but in the state of his mental fortitude for a ring comeback. Paul's provocative banter and knack for getting under Tyson's skin could be the catalyst needed for the formidable ex-heavyweight champion to stage a one-night return to glory. Brown said, "People talk about speed goes first and your power stays, all this kind of honestly what goes first for a lot of people is your mind, just that bloodthirsty hunger. That's what goes first for most people, or you get comfortable in there, things like that. That's how you want to keep Mike Tyson, be comfortable with your life. You've got a podcast. You've got money, chill." Brown further added that you don't want to awaken the 25-year-old who still sits within Mike Tyson. He expressed his confusion about the idea of trying to do that, stating that it's not the animal that you want to be poking. Amir Khan, a seasoned former world champion, has cast his forecast on the impending clash between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Khan's anticipation leans towards an early knockout triumph for the ferocious Iron Mike. He expressed his surprise at the fight, noting that it was unexpected for such a matchup to be made. KH said the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, "Wow, no one would have ever expected a fight like that fight to be made. Mike Tyson is a legend of the game, and not someone who you want to mess about with. Even though he's older now and has been retired for a long time, he's obviously done a few exhibitions." He emphasized that Mike Tyson is a legend of the game, and someone not to be underestimated despite his older age and retirement from professional boxing. He suggested that Tyson could seriously harm Jake Paul, given the weight and experience disparity between the two. Khan added, "I just feel that he can really hurt Jake Paul. I just can't believe what Jake Paul's thinking. He's fighting a heavyweight great. And I think he can get hurt badly. Regarding the hype surrounding the fight, Khan wondered if it was just promotional and expressed concern that Tyson might accidentally hurt Jake Paul. He admitted a fondness for Jake Paul, but stressed that Tyson is not a person to take lightly, especially in a pro bout where size and weight differences can be significant. He added, "Is it just hype with Mike and Jake posting it at the same? This is unreal, and I hope that Mike doesn't end up hurting him because, at the end of the day, I like Jake, but Mike is not a person you want to mess with or fight with, especially when you're a lot smaller and lighter." Reflecting on the potential outcome, Khan admitted he was shocked and amazed by the fight announcement. He confidently predicted that Mike Tyson would win by knockout, emphasizing Tyson's ongoing danger in the ring. Despite being in his 50s, Cage further said, "I don't know how this is going to go. Is it really going to happen? It amazes me, and I'm shocked I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even though he's in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy not to be messed with." Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, diverged from the expected, casting his vote for an unexpected victor in the imminent match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. In a recent interview with the Schmo, Kelce predicted that the younger fighter would win. He mentioned that he was taking Jake Paul, acknowledging Mike Tyson's stature, but emphasizing Jake's youth as a factor in his prediction. When asked if a knockout would win the bout, Kelce responded enthusiastically that he had never seen Mike get knocked out.
Listener Jake Paul, who wins that one?
Man, it's going on right now, isn't it?
July 20th.
I'm taking the Cleveland kid, even though Mike is, golly, I feel silly saying that, but I'll take Jake with the youth.
Knockout?
I don't know about a knockout. Are they allowed to knock each other out?
Yes, they are.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
They'll fight.
I don't know about a knockout, man. I've never seen Mike get knocked out.
In November 2020, Tyson squared up against Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout that resulted in a draw. Meanwhile, Paul is riding the wave of triumphs. He clinched 2 impressive knockouts against Andre August and Ryan Borland, the latest one landing in March. This triumph signifies his 3rd straight win since a narrow defeat to Tommy Fury in February 2023 in a highly anticipated fight. This July, boxing superstar Mike Tyson will square off against Jake Paul, who has shared his reasons for doing so. Paul addressed the altercation in a YouTube video saying, "Fighting Mike Tyson is such an honor to step into the ring with one of the 2 most famous people to ever grace the sport of boxing. Not only will this be the biggest fight of my life, but I think it has the opportunity to change the history of boxing." Despite doubts initially cast on the authenticity of the match, recent updates from ESPN have solidified its official sanctioning, adding points to both contenders' professional tallies. This showdown is set to feature 14-ounce gloves, with the action unfolding across 8 brisk rounds of 2 minutes. Each disregard the armchair experts, fellow fighters, and the entire punditry brigade. Hip-hop icon Lil Wayne has also thrown his hat into the ring with his forecast for the impending clash. Fresh from a series of electrifying press conferences hyping up the upcoming showdown, Paul and Tyson have left no doubt that their clash promises to be an epic spectacle. Still, doubts linger in some quarters about whether Iron Mike can outmatch Paul's youthful vigor. Amidst the swirling uncertainty, Lil Wayne expressed unwavering belief in Tyson's determination during a candid interview with Skip This on Undisputed. Speaking to the rapper, This answered the question that has been circulating among people: Tyson or Paul, who will prevail? Wayne answered the question with, "If it's a real fight, I have Mike Tyson. And I believe it's a disrespectful question." Without pausing to consider it, distracted by Wayne's inconsiderate shout-out to ask a question, This asked, "That's how much you believe in 58-year-old Mike Tyson." To this, the rapper expressed his unwavering confidence in the baddest man on the planet, saying, I don't care if he was 85-year-old Mike Tyson. Wayne further elaborated that even if a punch thrown during training by Tyson lands on Jake Paul, the fight would be over. Ronnie Shields, the very coach who whipped Iron Mike into shape for the monumental Lennox Lewis bout back in 2002, also shared his thoughts. With the buzz swirling around about the big showdown fight, Hype managed to snag a moment with his former featherweight contender to hear his thoughts on the upcoming match. Suffice it to say, Shields certainly delivered the goods. Speaking to the reporter, Shields didn't take long to dissect the upcoming fight. He said, "Well, it can go 2 ways. Mike knows the sport, been in it his whole life, so he knows how to pace himself to go 8 2-minute rounds." Shields turned to Jake Paul in the meanwhile and surmised an abortive attempt based on his prior fights. He said Jake Paul hasn't been in a position yet, especially against a stronger fighter like Mike Tyson. The pressure is going to be more on Jake Paul than Mike Tyson. When the journalist attempted to verify Shields' wager that Tyson would prevail and win by knockout, at that he had only one response in his words: "Absolutely." Tony Bellew, once the reigning WBC cruiserweight champion, has offered his insights into the upcoming bout, expressing empathy for Tyson's decision to step into the ring, yet acknowledging the inherent fear factor involved. Speaking to Spin It, as per Boxing Social, Bellew said, "I am worried about it personally. But listen, you don't know what's been agreed between the two. It's frightening that Mike Tyson is going back into a boxing ring against somebody who is more than 30. years younger than him. It's just a bit nuts. Bell added that he hoped the fight would be somewhat of a circus and scripted, because he wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson get hurt in any way. He emphasized that Tyson will be getting paid a substantial amount of money and believes that no one has the right to stop him from doing what he wants. Bell added, "I'm hoping that the fight is a bit of a circus and a bit scripted.